Well, we're going to talk about the 3-year-olds on my way home from the barn. It wasn't there long. It is pouring rain now, but it's cold too. Just a miserable day here in Ontario. We knew it was coming, and everybody got an easy day. Went over, looked at everybody. They all ate their breakfast, and all were eating their lunch. What?
My house is not this way.
Your house is this way. This is the way home, you butt. So I got a little impatient. I got a little.
Do you need a shower?
You need a shower?
No, you.
I had a shower, you butt. I got a little impatient turkey with me, and we're on our way back from the barn.
Hey, I'm not talking.
Okay. On my way back to the barn, or back from the barn now, I want to talk about the 3-year-olds, how close they are to racing, what they've been up to. Absolute euphoria. Trained in 224 the other day. We were patient as we started back with her. As you can imagine, swam her, that line healed up. We started jogging her, started to get her cardio back up, her groundwork back up, and re-x-rayed the knee just to make sure that there wasn't something lingering there afterwards, and everything looked great. We put a little polyglycan in her knees, and she was great. So been trained a few times now, trained in 224. Where's that put her? Maybe a month away, 3 weeks away, but looking good on the track. Very happy with what I see from her. Austral Hanover trained great the other day. I'm interested to see how this training trip looks this week, because as I said the other day in a video, the last time I trained him hard at 1.5 miles, he didn't train as good. Addie, I'm doing this, honey. He didn't train as good his very next training trip, which is a very telling sign that maybe you got to just take your time with him a little bit. A couple of the 3-year-olds now, we did Crantini's knees the other day. We're going to do Brace for Landings Hawks. Just maintenance stuff as they get ready for the races, because it's hard to train down, especially in this in this setting where now they're starting to really push. This is the first time, I trained Brace for Landing in 2.5 at First Line the other day. He's never trained like that on a farm track before. So even though they've been through the ringers as far as getting to the races and getting their experience, remember last year all their fast miles for the most part were at Mohawk. So this is the first time. This is a deeper track, a little more taxing. So again, as you get close to the races, you got to keep an eye on them. Make sure that they have the maintenance they need. So Crantini, as I said, we did his knees the other day. We're going to do Brace for Landings Hawks, and maybe his knees also on Monday. He's there right now. I could go a mile 57 with him at Mohawk, and it wouldn't phase him. But I don't want to do that yet. We'll go back and maybe 2.2 or 2.3 with him at First Line, and then right into a schooler after that. So that's the plan with Brace for Landing. So Austral Hanover, as I was saying, well, he's next anyway. Austral Hanover, I want to see how his next training set, and if he comes out swinging in his next training set. If I can get James over to Mohawk, we'll probably have Austral Hanover, Cutie Cumber, and one other horse, Jason was saying, in the race bike. Probably go 1 mile and 2.3 with them. And if that's the case, I'll know at that point, right after the training set, if Austral Hanover's ready to go or needs a little more time. His biggest problem is not endurance or soundness or being prepared. His biggest problem is when we do get him ready, where are we going to race him? So we have to be able to scope out a very useful place to race Austral Hanover in his first starts back. Okay, so we talked about Brace for Landing. Carter Michael Dio's been in 212. Dominic said they're going to Mohawk next to train in the race bike. Now the track is closed next week. Hopefully they have the qualifiers on Monday and not Saturday. If they have them on Saturday and the track is open, it won't be open for training likely. There's just too many people would come. So Carter Michael Dio may have to wait until the first part of the week to train at Mohawk. What, in a perfect world, they would just open the track for training on Saturday and have the qualifiers on Monday. Can only hope for that. But Carter Michael Dio, I just spoke to Dominic. He said he's ready to go in the race bike, and he certainly looks like he's ready to go in the race bike. He looks amazing in the stall. Cash Deals is racing on Sunday. She's in a good spot too. First start on Lazek, had that little hiccup where she hurt her leg in the stall, but it's fine now. Everything is good. Mario trained her up pretty good. I'd say a mile on 2.8 or 2.10 in the jog cart on Tuesday. That was after a schooler at Mohawk where she did a lot of work. So I don't think she's coming in short. Is she like, as we say, screwed down tight? No, but I don't think she has to be to do well in that class. Columbus Drew the 8-hole now. I forgot. I can't drive on Wednesday. If James comes over with me, which I think I am cornered into coming over, hopefully, we're probably going to go out and do something together. And this is weird. It's weird for me because you guys know that my brothers and I are... Hey, what am I doing right now? No, what am I doing right now? Well, I'm doing a video. That's right. So why are you talking?
Why my house is not this way?
It is. We go to the end of the road, sweetie, and then we turn left, and our house is right down there. This just isn't the way that Mommy comes, but it's the way that I go. Okay? Oh, yeah. And what do you say? Sorry? Uh-huh. So, you guys know that my brothers and I are tight, but it's not like James and I go out for a beer or go out for dinner. We just don't. I don't know why. And he's 9 years younger than me, so maybe we just run in different circles. So this will be the first time outside of a group setting where James and I drive somewhere together and go out to eat dinner together and go do stuff together. And it's a little odd, but it'll be nice. I tried to get Curtis to come with us, and he's got his wife. They have some young kids also, much like we do, and he just couldn't get away. But hopefully James can come over. It'll be nice to get him over there, and you know, I have to look at it two different ways. I've asked the leading driver at Mohawk and the leading driver in Canada to get in the car and come train some babies at Northfield Park with me. The other side of that is I've asked my brother to come to Northfield Park, and I think he's in the same ilk. As a driver, it's a hard no. As a brother, it's a soft maybe. And we'll see if we can turn that into a yes before Wednesday. But I'm not going to drive on Wednesday night. Chris Lems qualified Columbus. I know Jason listed me, and I just thought he'd list Chris Lems, and I called him and said, well, Chris doesn't have one in there. Put Chris Lems on Columbus. So that's who can drive him, and then I think we'll just get Luke. Old steady Luke. He's always done a pretty reasonable job for us. He can drive Stonebridge Ducati also in that other class. So I'm just going to take the night off on Wednesday if you guys don't mind. Shh. If you guys don't mind. So that's where Columbus is on Wednesday. Got the 8-hole, but I suspect he's so handy on his feet. Like, I didn't see him qualify because I was in the 2-hole and he was behind me. But when he wheeled up first over, he was just kind of buggy riding on him and drove away. So you never know. You guys never know. Maybe Columbus is going to come to life and be an okay horse this year, and I hope he is. Coupe de Ville trained great, Jason said yesterday. Trained very, very good. She's been training good. I trained her in 2-2 by herself. No, I schooled her in 2-2. I trained her in 2-1 by herself. So she's ready to go right now. Her appetite's staying good. No trotting hobbles on whatsoever, and she has been razor sharp. So Coupe de Ville will qualify next Thursday. Crantini, I'll train him Tuesday in 2-5 at the farm, much like I did with Brace the other day. And then again, rinse and repeat the next week. We'll see. We'll evaluate his training session on Tuesday and go from there. I mean, obviously, mentally, I'll tell you what, Amy's right, though. You see quite a difference in like, I've been rough on him. I've been hard on him, like, training-wise. And when you have him on a strict diet of manual labor, he behaves. You give him one day off, all the demons come flooding back. He had a day off the other day, and I came in with Amy. I said, my God, he's a mongrel today. This horse has been good. And she goes, you know why? Because he had yesterday off. She's right. So I think probably what we'll do is he'll go in the field on Tuesday. Might even put him on the walker for 20 minutes and take a little more of the starch out of him and then train him, because he was very, very good training last week. Both times I trained him, he was really, really good. So I want to have a good training session into him on Tuesday, and then probably the following Tuesday we'll go again. That'll be followed likely with a race bike session behind the gate. He may need, you know what, I'm wrong. I may train him once in 2-5 and then take him and start schooling him, because he may need some gate work. Without hobbles on, he may need some gate work to get his head screwed on straight. But he's had his moments. I'll tell you what, his good training and jogging days grossly outweigh his bad ones this year thus far. I can only think of, you know, that first couple of days back. That's not fair to him. But aside from those first couple of days, only a few days where I've been like, Jesus, horse really getting on my nerves today. So he's been good. Cunning Connie, somebody asked me when she's ready to go. She is going to train in the race bike next week at Mohawk. No, unless hopefully that's another Saturday project. So hopefully we can train her Saturday at Mohawk. Cutie Cumber's going to go in the race bike with Austral and one other horse. I know who the horse is. Tailgate Buzz. All three of them are ready to go, probably 2-3, 2-4. So we'll go with them. Wednesday in between trips. Where are we at here? Five Fish Species is training back good. She had a little hiccup where she got her white count jumped and her stifle had a little filling in it, and I think she just got cast in the stall. Two very different things. One, she had a little bit of sickness, and two, she got cast in the stall, but she's fine now. I don't think she trained last week, but she'll continue on her training schedule this week, and she looks good. I'll tell you what she is. Crazy in the barn. I hear this horse roaring the other day like a stud. I'm like, who is that? They said, oh, that's Fish. Oh, okay. But she's feeling good. Gandalf the Black, I'm very, very happy with how Gandalf come back. Nobody can be unhappy with how Gandalf the Black looked his first start. And it looks like we're going to have a lot of fun with this guy this year. He's in tonight. As I said, probably our best shot tonight, I had to retool that. I thought it was probably Locatelli, but Gandalf the Black will be one of them for sure. High Enterprise, probably voted most likely to be sold in the next 2 weeks. Just a continuation of her ignorant attitude, and it's just too bad, but this is the way it is, and it's not just with horses. You see it in all walks of life, whether it be an employee or a kid in a sports program. You have to be able to execute. One, you have to have ability and talent, but the mental acuity to understand your work and do it well is important in all walks of life, in all aspects of life. And she doesn't care. And that's, she'll end up probably winning an Almers or 2, an Almers or 3, maybe being a racehorse. But as far as being an effective stake horse, I just don't see it happening. Now, I am pessimistic about next Thursday's qualifier, but we'll see. We'll see how she qualifies. I was a little pessimistic about Columbus's qualifier too. He qualified great. So let's see if the starting gate can flip that switch on High Enterprise next Thursday. Horn Player, I was so happy to see her race so good. She's a likable horse, very well bred, and a horse that was really one of those bubble horses. I talked about her 2 weeks ago and said, she's always going to carry worth, right? She's Alarm Detector's sister by a son of Muscle Hill, Tactical Landing. The Tactical Landing fillies look good. There's no reason to believe they won't turn into good broodmares. This is a very well-bred horse. She's going to carry value. That's if she didn't do good. But then just to come out and win her first start in 57, there was no weight. I was going to say, weightlifter. There was no weight. I was just so happy for all my partners on that filly, because she is a likable horse. So Horn Player was great. Landing Pad, another horse, come out of the woodwork the other day. Now, he didn't look fluid. He didn't look great. She'll be back soon. I'm going to finish my video, and then we're going to go inside, okay? Okay. Landing Pad, I didn't know what to think. We made the minorest tinkering in his shoeing, and I'm like, let's see how he does. 57-4, 58. He went a good mile. He wasn't super fluid, but, how do I explain this? I'm not going to be able to quantify it properly for those of you who aren't drivers, trainers, or horse people out there. He was forging a lot. He's one of those trotters where, as that left and right foot comes back, the back foot would come up, kick, and tick the bottom of it. It's so hard to get them away from doing that. And we just made the minor shoeing change, and I thought my watch was wrong. I knew we were going along a little bit, but I pull up 57-4. That's not possible. Sylvain was there. I said, hey, he beat me maybe 3 lengths. I said, hey, why don't you go there? 57-1, 57. I said, Jesus. All right. Okay. But the most notable thing was, and I guess this is part and parcel to the 57-4 mile, I didn't hear any of that forging. Maybe once halfway down the lane or twice. But last week when I went with them in 2-2, it was the whole way. Just constant click, 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 click. And they can become, there's a horse that wants to come forward, and they can be useful. A horse that I used to have a long time ago that did it constantly in the race was a 56 trotter, but probably a 25 claimer, and a really likable horse that did us a lot of good. His name was Search Mission. I believe he was might have been an Angus Hall. No, maybe. I'm not sure now. It was funny because a couple of our partners ended up owning him throughout his career also. He was he raced forever. Just a solid condition type claimer horse. Probably end up making, I'm going to guess, 200,000 or 300,000, but he would forge bad all the time. This guy I was just so surprised. One, that minor shoeing change did such a good job of cleaning his gait up, so to speak. I was very surprised, and then to see him go out and trot 57-4, I'm thinking 2-1. 2 minutes, 2-1. Now, that's not to say he's going to go out winning 56 his first start. All I can tell you is what he did. You know, we went through this a couple of times, so I said a horse school fast, and they didn't come right back to it. Nice morning, track was fast. Take it for what it is, but he did go a mile 57.4, and I was very impressed with him. Landing Strip, I haven't gone with him yet, but Jason has been thoroughly impressed with Landing Strip. He talks about him all the time, about how good he's trotting and how much he likes him. He's getting very close to race bike time. So we'll go, like I said, I haven't gone with him yet, but I will go with him this week at 1.5 miles. I think the plan is to train him this week at 1.5 miles. Where are we at here? So Landing Strip was very, very good this week. Leaps and Bounds has been awesome. I trained her in 2-1 the other day at Northfield. Probably qualify her around the same, and then she'll be ready to go wherever we want to go with her. What do we got next? Merchant Man. Last I heard he was in 212. I suspect he's going to have crack 210. Harry usually starts taking him in a Mohawk at this point. There's no Mohawk next week. So I don't know how close he is to qualifying. He's close. 3 weeks, 2 weeks probably, but he's close. Mo Power Baby, I trained in 2-3 in the race bike. She was very good the other day. So we'll probably qualify her in 2-1, 2-2, and then we'll get a gauge of where she's sitting. But I was very happy with her. More Than You Know has been good. He's racing tonight. Doug McNair is driving him because of that. As I said, no more rain for Anthony in March. None. I was going to drive Haunted House and More Than You Know tonight, but I said no. I drove in a monsoon Wednesday. I drove in a monsoon Thursday. No more rain for Anthony in March. So More Than You Know, Doug McNair. Good luck to all my partners with More Than You Know tonight. My 1% is jogging back now. His appetite. Shh, stop. We're going in a second. His appetite is good. He's staying good. Probably start training him again. They may have trained him last week, a slow mile, but we got to start training him again this week. Why don't you try help me out there, Turkey? There you go. Nothing But a Dreamer looks very, very good. One of the most interesting prospects we have of sophomores this year is Nothing But a Dreamer. I can't speak enough about how interested I am to see him get racing. He looks very, very good. Oh my gosh, another horse that kind of surprised me. 59-2 the other day. It's a good qualifier for him. 31-2 in the end of it. His right ankle was hurting him quite a bit. We had the vet go over. I thought he'd find a little bit more. Stifles back, blah, blah, blah. He said, no, just right ankle. And that's not like, his right ankle, he's going to break his right ankle. No, it was just a maintenance thing. It could be a number of things. He bites that right line hard. He did his work, though. 59-2 was... If I'd asked any of my partners on oh my gosh, what would you like to see him do? 59 might have been unattainable in their minds. Mine too. So a good mile from him on Thursday. Where are we at here? Sir Strong, we galloped him. I'm going to gallop him, get his strength up, and then probably put him in the race bike in 10 days. I want to run him Tuesday. I want to run him Friday. A week from next Tuesday or Wednesday, we'll put him in the race bike probably and see how he is. He needs to be strong, and he has to have a better gait and trot better. I like the horse, but I'm not going to go too far down this road with Sir Strong. He's got to come forward here in 2023. Sister Solange, just a very, very tough trip for her first start. That's not what I wanted to see. I see she's racing for nothing in Monticello this week, but I guess confidence is important for this filly, and we want to get it back up. And I if she's first over, I'll probably lose my mind, but I suspect she won't be. I suspect she'll get a good trip and do the best she can. We're just trying our best to get her moving forward. Where else are we? Smoking Hot Irish Girl. Jason has said she feels very, very good. No trotting hobbles. He's been training her strong at 1.5 miles. So again, can't wait to see her this week. Spitfire Overseas. I think if you ask James McDonald, of all our horses that he's seen in Canada this year training back, I think he would rank Spitfire Overseas number 1. Now, he hasn't gone with Brace. I've gone with him, and I don't think he thinks Brace is as good as I think he is. I think he thinks Spitfire is way ahead, Carter second, Spitfire, Carter, Brace maybe, in that order. But I haven't seen or sat behind Spitfire, and James has, and he says he is very, very good. So we'll see. Swinging Senorita's been 59. We weren't going to qualify her this week. We'll go back with her next week. Will be her first qualifier back. Tactical Mounds, again, almost ready to start the race bike. Very, very interested to see how this filly trains this week, especially after seeing Horn Player and how good she was her first start. Seeing Brace for Landing train down, see this other tactical landing filly that we had, that one trotted in 55, but looked very good as a 2-year-old. Can't wait to see what she's going to do as a 3-year-old. Tailgate Buzz has been great. He'll win 2-3 easy in the race bike. He's been training very, very good. War a Wee Yuri. 2-2 in a schooler yesterday. It looked very good. Go back with one more schooler in 2 minutes and then head to the qualifiers with him. He's there. He's ready to go now. And What a Mission. I haven't got a ton of reports from What a Mission. I think he's just been an even Steven training back. Again, he's in that almost ready to go on the race bike. But I'm sorry. Am I keeping you up? But What a Mission. What a Mission. I'm going to win the race bike soon. I haven't really got any positive or negative reports from him. So I think he's just even Steven type with Jason on his side. So with that, I'll be back now. I guess that's not fair to say about What a Mission. I watched him jog the one day and everybody was telling me how good he looked. So maybe I just didn't ask the right questions to Jason. I mean, Jason obviously was glowing about Smoking Hot Irish Girl, Tactical Mounds, and Landing Strip. Now, I believe What a Mission was just in the mix, but those 3 horses were definitely on the tip of his tongue of horses he wanted to talk to me about. So those are your 3-year-olds. Got lots of 2-year-olds to talk about. I'm going to do them right now. I'm going to do the 2-year-olds right now because I'm not going to do my opening yet, and I'm going to sit down today and clean up the stables. Who's where, who's going where, and see if we can get a stable list to you. It's been almost a month since I gave you a stable list. So I'll be back with all the 2-year-olds in just a minute, giving you an update on how much they've been, where I think they're going. Do they have any issues, their strengths or weaknesses, everything. I'll be back in just a minute.